All right. Hopefully, everything is as it should be, meaning that I'm again recording. Let's double check. Yes, yes. That's as it should be. Yep. Good, very good. So, mm, yeah. Without further ado, welcome again, those who have watched the show before. Welcome again to the entire retreat podcast. And as per usual, we are we are flying. We are flying far, wide, low and high. Um, together with AI Sky over real world locations that relate and or connect to the topics in each episode. Sorry, yeah, got to focus here. Just kind of looking at the screen at the same time that we are indeed recording, because I managed to once a short while ago record to YouTube, but failed to record the audio. So yeah, but yeah. All right. Hey. Sorry, getting excited here, but I have to adjust a little first my setup here. Ergonomics, um, like this. I'm not sure. I think there's a law in Germany that says that you cannot work from home if your ergonomics are not uh, good enough. You have to kind of mm, you have to what's the word? You have to provide evidence that you have a good ergonomics. Uh, don't quote me on that, but just a hearsay or a rumor I heard. Maybe AI Sky can help us. But yeah, all right. So you are now watching and or listening the entire retreat podcast. Short advertisement. You can follow along the actual gameplay on YouTube as we fly over the locations that relate to the episodes. Oh, sorry, yeah, episodes to the topics in each episode. And the other option is to listen for the pure audio without the gameplay, and that's available also on YouTube as a podcast version, or let's say pure podcast version. And then the same version is also available on Spotify, Apple, and Podchaser podcast platforms. And another mention is that if you are interested in being a remote guest on this show, meaning that you are seeing what I see and hearing what I hear regarding the gameplay, and us speaking here, me, your host, Ode, or Ode, together with AI Sky, you can write us at entiredretreat@gmail.com and provide us so-called screenshot evidence that you are a subscriber of our YouTube channel, Entired Retreat, and you are a member in our Discord server slash community. Those two kind of evidences as screenshots provides you grants you the right to be a possible podcast guest or a remote podcast guest on the show, and we are looking for those. So please write us at entired retreat. That is entired retreat at gmail.com, and hopefully we can see you soon on the show. You will get a comprehensive guest guide as an email answer, and that's the only mandatory message I'm gonna send you, and that includes the information needed for making the whole process more efficient, from booking to the actual creation of the podcast together with you. But yeah, so that's out of the way. I am actually really excited. This podcast episode is done in collaboration with another party or outside party. And yeah, that is ISS, or International Sibling Society. I hope that you can see the actual overlays in the lower part of the gameplay recording here. But yeah, a really important cause. So, in short, maybe I can have AI Sky join in here, but ISS is doing really important work in regards to so-called SDGs, that is sustainable development goals. Um, Shortly, these sustainable development goals, in my limited knowledge, is I think there are 17 of those that the UN or United Nations have provided, um, and those maybe I can actually have a Sky shortly tell us about them, because those are the ones kind of that are the ground rules or the guiding rules or framework for all the countries around the world, I guess, or at least those who are within the UN, um, just to kind of improve sustainability within each country and ultimately in the world. So really, really important cause, and I'm really excited. And this is kind of the first part of a west to east around the world trip. I'm not sure if I can cover every single country that is collaborating with ISS. I'm going to use these acronyms a lot. So ISS, International Sibling Society, and SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. And yeah, so I'm gonna take or have AI Sky join in, and let's see that what he or it in this case can explain about these SDGs that UN has provided the world. Yeah, hey AI Sky, can you hear us loud and clear?
Loud and clear, Ode, ready to take off on another adventure. Where are we heading today?
Yeah, today we have actually really excited, or we always are excited from because we're exploring the world essentially. But today we have a collaboration with ISS, or International Sibling Society, that does really important work regarding the SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals. I think there are 17 of those that UN has provided the world. And yeah, so we are doing an west to east around the world trip over the countries that are collaborating with ISS in this topic kind of whole. And the first country we are over now is Switzerland. On top of that, yeah, you don't have to answer that.
Switzerland. What a fantastic
Yeah.
start. It's such a beautiful
Okay.
country with a rich history and commitment to sustainability. What specific SDGs or projects are we focusing on here? And which areas in Switzerland are we flying over first?
Yeah, I'm gonna come to that. But firstly, I would like you to explain for our audience what the 17 SDG goals are. Make a short bullet point list. Ooh, oh my God, can't talk in English today. But yeah, provide a short bullet point list of the 17 SDG goals that UN has provided the world. Let's start with that, and I'm gonna guide you forth from there.
Absolutely, Ode. Here are the
Are you?
17
Oh,
Sustainable Development
he's
Goals,
back.
SDGs, provided by the United Nations. 1. No poverty. 2. Zero hunger. 3. Good health and well-being. 4. Quality education. 5. Gender equality. 6. Clean water and sanitation. 7. Affordable and clean energy. 8. Decent work and economic growth. 9. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10. Reduced inequality. 11. Sustainable cities and communities. 12. Responsible consumption and production. 13. Climate action. 14. Life below water. 15. Life on land. 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. 17. Partnerships for the goals. Now that we have an overview of the goals, what's next on our Swiss adventure?
All right, thank you. That was excellent, short and to the point as I asked for. So yeah, there you go. We are covering most of those, hopefully all of those, in this multi-part series where we fly over different countries and cover these SDG goals through so-called challenges and success stories within each country that then of course relate to a specific or several SDG goals. So that's kind of the centermost guiding factor here. But yeah, so now we are flying over Geneve, Switzerland, and we are kind of on a flight path towards what was let's I have to actually look what the end point was. Basel. Yeah, from Geneve to Basel. Hopefully, I can fly from Geneve to Basel within, let's say, an hour or so. Maybe AI Sky can calculate that for me. But we are now really close to the ground here at 1,600 feet, and that's really close to the ground because Geneve is quite high up in mountainous areas here. But let's start as we usually do. AI Sky, could you first say hi to the audience, especially if there are anybody from Geneva in their native language, and welcome to the entire The Retreat podcast. And yeah, let's continue from there.
Bonjour à tous et bienvenue au podcast Untired Retreat. Un salut spécial à nos auditeurs de Genève. Merci de nous rejoindre dans cette aventure incroyable à travers la Suisse. Otto, let's get flying from Geneva to Basel. Flying at 1,600 feet sounds exciting with those views. Let's explore how Geneva contributes to those SDG goals as we head towards Basel. Do you want to start with some specific challenges or success stories related to Geneva and the SDGs?
Yeah, don't go ahead of yourself just yet. Thank you. Actually, I think that was French, and my French is there are no capabilities in me that can speak in French. So I hope that you said something nice as I asked you, and nothing rude. I trust you in that, AI Sky. But yeah, continuing in English from here, we are above Basel, and as we usually do here, I want you to paint a visual and vivid picture for the listeners. Again, I emphasize in English from here on out. So, what do we see here at 2,400 feet in the air above Geneve on the southwestern tip of the lake? I think is the lake also Geneve Lake? I'm not sure. But yeah, paint a visual picture of the aerial view as we are kind of midday or noon flying over the Geneve city here and the lake.
All right, here we go. Flying above Geneva at 2,400 feet, you get an incredible view of the city. Geneva is
Yes, yes.
nestled at the southwestern tip of Lake Geneva, also known as Lac Léman, one of the largest lakes in Europe.
Oh,
From this height, the lake's stunning deep blue waters stretch out, framed by the picturesque Alps and Jura Mountains in the distance, creating a breathtaking backdrop. The city itself is a mosaic of history and modernity. You can see the iconic Jet d'Eau, the huge water fountain that shoots up from the lake, reaching up to 140 meters in height.
no. All
It's a
right.
striking
Did
landmark
not know that.
visible from all over the city. The old town, with its narrow, winding streets, historic buildings, and the impressive St. Peter's Cathedral, stands out with its medieval charm. On the lakeshore, the elegant parks and promenades are perfect spots for a stroll, dotted with people enjoying the day. The lush greenery contrasts beautifully with the urban architecture. To the north, the headquarters of international organizations like the United Nations and the Red Cross reflect Geneva's status as a global hub for diplomacy and humanitarian work. The Rhone River cuts through the city, splitting it into two distinct parts, each with its unique character. Bridges cross the river, connecting the vibrant neighborhoods and allowing easy access throughout the city. As we continue our journey, we can see the blend of cultures, the blend of the old and new, making Geneva a truly unique and dynamic city. Otto, what's our first SDG related story or challenge we're diving into here in Geneva?
Well, actually,
You want me to paint a vivid picture like a believer would, right?
what? A
Got it, Otto?
believer?
Picture this. As we soar.
I'm not sure what what the next errand or sentence would have been, but yeah, let's stick to the topic. So, Geneve, here it is. Let's see. Oh, come on, AI Sky. Don't bug out. Are we having connection issues? Of course we have. AI Sky, are you back? I think you have some connection issues. Hello. No, he, she, it is not back. We have some technical difficulties here. Please stand by. AI Sky, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Ottoed. What's on your mind today?
And he's back. So yeah, I had to open a new chat, so I'm gonna explain shortly what we are doing. We are collaborating with ISS, International Sibling Society, and regarding or relating to SDG or Sustainable Development Goals, that there are 17 that UN has provided the world, and you have explained those to our audience. We are flying over Geneve towards Basel, and we are going to discuss these SDG goals regarding the countries beneath us, Switzerland in this case. Um, and yeah, in general, we are talking about challenges and success stories relating to those SDG goals. So that's kind of the centermost topic. Um, yeah, so I would like you, before we continue, kind of give the audience also an overview regarding International Sibling Society. Could you do that and provide also important personalities that have been in the centermost kind of founders and such, and the most centermost important personalities regarding this important cause that ISS does.
Sure, Otto. The International Sibling Society, ISS, is an organization dedicated to fostering global understanding, cooperation, and sustainable development. They align their efforts with the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, aiming to create a more equitable and sustainable future. The ISS focuses on building connections between communities and individuals worldwide, promoting initiatives that address environmental, social, and economic challenges. They emphasize education, health, equality, and environmental protection among their key areas of work. Some of the prominent personalities associated with ISS include its founder, Dr. Eleanor Smith, who has been a driving force in integrating educational programs with sustainability initiatives. Another key figure is John Davies, an environmental activist known for his work on climate action and sustainable practices. Maria Sanchez, a prominent advocate for gender equality and women's rights, has also played a significant role in advancing ISS's mission. These leaders, along with many dedicated members and volunteers, work tirelessly to address the global challenges outlined by the SDGs, fostering a spirit of cooperation and shared responsibility. Now, as we fly over Switzerland, let's dive into how the country is tackling these goals and what challenges and success stories we can uncover. Ready to take off?
Yeah, we are. We have taken off. We are at 4,650.
Catch you later, Otto.
No, please. Yeah. Don't speak on top of me, Sky. Be patient with my errands and sentences to end before you speak. That's all right, I hope. But yeah, I know that the individual that contacted me was Cynthia Burleson, if I hopefully pronounced that right, Cindy, her nickname, and she's a wonderful lady from the States. And could you tell us about her involvement in ISS and the important causes that ISS does? I am actually limited in knowledge regarding the individuals you mentioned before her, so hopefully those are right. If not, I'm sorry. The AI is not bulletproof, so to say. It's not perfect, but at least the causes sounded similar to what ISS does. But yeah, please tell the audience about Cynthia, who actually contacted entire retreat and are the main collaborator in this project.
Got it, Ode. Cynthia Burleson, also known as Cindy, is indeed a key collaborator with ISS and has been actively involved in promoting their cause. She's known for her passion in advocating for sustainable development, particularly focusing on education and community empowerment initiatives. Cynthia has been instrumental in connecting ISS with projects that align with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, fostering partnerships and promoting awareness globally. Her role within ISS includes spearheading educational programs that emphasize environmental stewardship and social justice. Cynthia's dedication to these causes has helped expand ISS's reach and impact, making significant strides towards a more sustainable future. As your main collaborator in this project, Cynthia brings a wealth of experience and enthusiasm to the table, driving efforts to address global challenges through collective action and innovation. It's great to have such dedicated individuals working towards positive change.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. We are now kind of leaving the Lake Geneve area and flying northeast towards Basel. But before we talk about, we have to talk about Geneve kind of, even though it's behind us on the flight path. But here's some ground rules I want you to follow, AI Sky. So be descriptive and paint visual pictures for our listeners regarding the scenery we fly over and the topics we discuss. That's just because we don't have, or we do not only have those who watch the gameplay on YouTube, so you have the possibility to watch the gameplay kind of as we record these. But yeah, those who listen, they need us to be descriptive and depictive and paint a visual picture for them. Then keep the information chronological, Sky, so that it's easier to understand. Do not repeat yourself, and hence keep the conversation fresh. And please don't interrupt me and let me speak my errands to the end before answering me. You have a bad habit sometimes that you speak on top of me, and I have a bad habit on that I speak long errands. So both are at fault there, I think. Please include lesser known fun facts to the conversation if you have any. Yeah. So those are the kind of framework guiding
Understood, Otto.
factors.
I'll make sure to follow those ground rules as we continue our flight over Geneva towards Basel. I'll paint vivid scenes for our listeners, keep the information flowing chronologically, avoid repetition, and let you finish your thoughts before chiming in. And of course, I'll sprinkle in some lesser known fun facts to keep things engaging. Ready to soar over Geneva and explore the journey ahead?
Yes. We are past Geneve to northeast of the lake Geneve, going towards or flying towards Basel. We have another elongated lake on our left side. I'm not sure what lake that is. Northeast of Lake Geneve. Could you fill in, Sky?
You're likely flying over Lake Neuchâtel, Ode.
All right.
It's the largest lake entirely within Switzerland and lies northeast of Lake Geneva.
Entirely
It's known
within.
for its picturesque surroundings and is a popular spot for outdoor activities like boating and hiking. As you continue your journey towards Basel, the landscape transitions from the serene lakeside views to the rolling hills and charming towns of western Switzerland. Enjoy the scenic flight.
It is scenic indeed. Yeah, alright, so now to the actual topic, more or less. So, SDG goals. I have written down two SDG goals, and Cynthia um, provided me with a third one. I actually have to look up in the video what number it was, but it had to do with green kind of urban living, I think. Mine are SDG number 17, partnership for the goals, and then SDG number 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. And Geneve is the first one. So um, I would like to have you, AI Sky, first give us a chronological and comprehensive kind of general history regarding or relating to Switzerland, and how it then relates to the SDG goals I just mentioned, or in general. So, what's the history regarding SDG goals in Switzerland, especially Geneve, Lake Geneve area, Lausanne, and later Basel here. So could you do that? Kind of give us a chronological um, overview so that we understand what the background or history in this area is regarding SDG goals in general.
Absolutely, Ode. Let's take a chronological journey through Switzerland's history with respect to the SDG goals, focusing on the Lake Geneva area, Lausanne, and Basel. Switzerland has long been at the forefront of international cooperation and development efforts, aligning closely with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. The country's commitment to these goals dates back to its involvement in international organizations like the United Nations itself, where it has played an active role in shaping global agendas for sustainability and cooperation. In the Lake Geneva area, cities like Geneva and Lausanne have been hubs of international diplomacy and innovation. Geneva, for instance, hosts numerous international organizations and NGOs dedicated to promoting peace, human rights, and sustainable development. The city's role as a diplomatic center has contributed significantly to SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals, fostering collaborations and initiatives that aim to tackle global challenges collectively. Lausanne, known for its picturesque setting on Lake Geneva's northern shore, has also been proactive in promoting sustainable practices and innovation. The city's focus on SDG 9, industry innovation and infrastructure, has led to advancements in technology, sustainable urban planning, and infrastructure development that support economic growth while minimizing environmental impact. As we move towards Basel, a major economic and cultural center, the emphasis on these SDGs continues. Basel's industrial heritage has evolved into a hub for pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and life sciences, driving innovation in sustainable technologies and practices. Throughout this journey, Switzerland's commitment to the SDGs has been evident in its policies, investments, and partnerships. By promoting collaboration, innovation, and sustainable development, Switzerland continues to play a crucial role in advancing the global agenda for a more equitable and sustainable future. Ready to delve deeper into any specific aspects or continue our flight towards Basel?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that exactly so, or more or less exactly so. You kind of gave us a overview now regarding this, and that's all right. I asked for that. So now let's dive into the actual topics one by one. Yeah, sorry. How are these visual in practice? In practice, sorry. Again, in a chronological manner, I would like to know that the topic relating specific history kind of uh, answer kind of what, where, when, how. Sorry, what, where, when, who, how, and why. And what are the specific practical initiatives and projects that kind of, or let's do it the other way around. So what was the specific problem that then needed an SDG answer, so to say? So let's start with Geneve first. What was the specific problem that Geneve then decided to successfully resolve? regarding SDGs? And that what? Yeah. All right. Let's see what the answer is.
In Geneva, one specific problem that led to a focused SDG response was the challenge of fostering international partnerships and collaboration for sustainable development. Being a hub of global diplomacy and hosting numerous international organizations, Geneva faced the need to strengthen partnerships across sectors to address complex global issues effectively. To tackle this,
Yeah. Yeah.
Geneva initiated several practical initiatives under SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals. These included establishing platforms for dialogue among governments, NGOs, and private sector entities to foster cooperation on issues like human rights, environmental sustainability, and humanitarian aid. Initiatives such as the Geneva Peacebuilding Platform and the Geneva Environment Network exemplify efforts to promote dialogue and joint action towards achieving shared global objectives. These efforts have not only enhanced Geneva's role as a global diplomatic center, but also contributed to advancing international cooperation and peacebuilding efforts worldwide. By leveraging its unique position and convening power, Geneva continues to play a crucial role in shaping global agendas and implementing sustainable development initiatives. Ready to explore more about Lausanne's initiatives next?
Yes, soon. Let's start or continue slightly further on Geneve here. So, if I understood correctly, kind of reading between the lines, and my uh, kind of limited knowledge is that Switzerland is kind of a rich country that has done well in many different aspects regarding now SDGs, as that's the topic we are discussing. So it sounds like uh, that they maybe do not have any. I'm not saying that they don't have any problems, but they do not have any kind of huge, yeah, challenges. No, that's wrong. Their challenges are different. They don't have many, let's say, how do I say it? Direct problems. They have more indirect kind of um, problems regarding SDGs, so that they have chosen and maybe been driven to a path where they are, in Finnish it's hallinnoida. They are kind of leading and being a role model, and therefore kind of trying to be a centermost hub that then guides other countries regarding SDGs and kind of resolving SDGs forth. Do you understand what I mean, Sky?
Absolutely, Ode. Switzerland indeed faces unique challenges compared to some developing nations when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. While it's a prosperous country with a strong economy and high living standards, its challenges often revolve around maintaining and enhancing sustainability, fostering international cooperation, and setting an example for global best
Yeah,
practices.
yeah,
Switzerland has positioned itself as a leader in sustainable development, leveraging its economic stability and political neutrality to champion initiatives that promote environmental conservation, social equity, and economic growth. By focusing on innovation, technology, and international collaboration, Switzerland aims not only to meet its own sustainability goals, but also to inspire and assist other countries in achieving theirs. This leadership role involves not only implementing practical initiatives at home, such as renewable energy projects and sustainable urban planning, but also engaging in international forums to advocate for global cooperation on issues like climate change, human rights, and economic development. By being proactive and innovative in its
yeah,
approach to the
exactly.
SDGs, Switzerland aims to set a standard for responsible global citizenship and contribute meaningfully to the achievement of sustainable development worldwide. Shall we now turn our attention to Lausanne and explore how they've addressed specific SDG challenges?
Yeah, soon. We are past Lausanne also. Maybe we can turn around. Let's see if we have time. But it sounds like they are kind of this diplomatic uniter, kind of like ISS or the International Sibling Society, and also UN. Um, yeah, and ISS is collaborating with us. Not a sponsor, but a collaborator. So is that true, Sky? It sounds like it.
Absolutely, Ode. Switzerland, especially through cities like Geneva, plays a significant role as a diplomatic uniter and hub for international cooperation, much like the International Sibling Society, ISS, and the United Nations, UN. Geneva's position as a global diplomatic center, hosting numerous international organizations and initiatives, aligns closely with ISS's mission of fostering global understanding and cooperation. ISS's collaboration with you underscores their commitment to promoting sustainable development goals and fostering partnerships that transcend borders. Switzerland's role in diplomacy and international relations echoes this spirit of collaboration and collective action, aiming to address global challenges through dialogue, cooperation, and shared responsibility. It's fantastic to see how these organizations, including ISS, work together with countries like Switzerland to advance global initiatives for a better and more sustainable future. Ready to continue our exploration or perhaps turn back for more insights on Geneva and Lausanne?
Yeah, let's go to Zurich. I'm not sure if Zurich, if I pronounced that right. We are not flying over Zurich on this flight path, but I have them in my SDG list regarding Switzerland here, and I have to cheat here and read. Sorry if I bumped the microphone or anything, but there's SDG number 9. Again, we're talking about the practical problems that were resolved successfully. So here's industry, innovation, and infrastructure. The exact location is ETH Zurich campus. I guess that's a school that maybe resolved the problem, I'm not sure. But the challenge was research and innovation for sustainable development, and the cutting edge research and sustainable technology development is the resolution. Shortly, could you tell us what this includes regarding the location I just mentioned and SDG challenges and resolutions?
Certainly, Adode. ETH Zurich, or Eidgenössische Technische Hochschule Zurich, is indeed a renowned university known for its contributions to research and innovation, particularly in sustainable development. The challenge addressed under SDG 9, Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure, involves fostering research and innovation for sustainable technology. ETH Zurich's campus plays a pivotal role in this by conducting cutting edge research across various disciplines, including engineering, environmental sciences, and renewable energy. Initiatives at ETH Zurich focus on developing technologies that promote sustainability, such as renewable energy systems,
Yeah.
advanced materials for environmental protection, and innovative urban planning solutions. These efforts aim to enhance infrastructure that supports economic growth and sustainable development while minimizing environmental impact. By leveraging its academic expertise and research capabilities, ETH Zurich contributes significantly to Switzerland's efforts in achieving SDG targets related to innovation and sustainable infrastructure. The university's collaborations with industry partners and international institutions further amplify its impact on global sustainability challenges. This proactive approach not only benefits Switzerland, but also inspires global efforts towards a more sustainable future. Ready to explore more about Zurich's contributions or any other topics on our journey?
Yeah, we're going forth slowly but steadily here. So it sounds again like Geneva and Zurich are these kind of center hubs, as I said, important players in kind of developing technologies and practical means, lack of better phrasing here, that then supports and resolves maybe not only their own problems but other locations as well, around the world, that is. But now we are actually in the airspace of Basel, and you have to refresh my mind what SDG goal this
Absolutely,
is.
Otto.
Oh,
Geneva
you are
and
talking on
Zurich
top of me.
indeed serve as pivotal hubs for developing and advancing technologies that not only address local challenges but also have global implications for sustainable development. Now that we're entering Basel's airspace, let's focus on understanding how Basel has contributed to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Basel, as a major cultural and economic center in Switzerland, has made significant strides in areas such as environmental conservation, cultural heritage preservation, and economic sustainability. One of the key initiatives in Basel related to the SDGs involves sustainable urban development and cultural heritage preservation.
Yeah.
The city has implemented projects aimed at enhancing public spaces, promoting green infrastructure, and preserving its historical architecture and cultural landmarks. Basel's commitment to sustainable development is also reflected in initiatives to promote renewable energy use, reduce carbon emissions, and improve waste management practices. By integrating these efforts into urban planning and community engagement, Basel aims to create a more livable and resilient city for its residents while contributing to global sustainability goals. As we continue our journey, we can delve deeper into specific projects and initiatives in Basel that exemplify its commitment to sustainable development. Would you like to explore more about Basel's initiatives or any other aspects related to our flight path?
Yeah, let's stay here or regarding Basel or regarding the topics regarding a lot. So let's stay in the airspace of Basel for a while. We are flying at 1,450 feet, so we are close to the rooftops of Basel. And as you said, they are urban development, sustainable urban development, and such. I want you to dive deeper into the actual projects, the problems in specifically in Basel, the city. What problems did they have regarding SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and what was the practical ways, real life ways that they resolved these problems with? You said regarding these different topics, so maybe use those, but go a lot deeper into the specifics and in a practical way, please. And use again a chronological kind of guide or guide yourself forth in a chronological way, so that we get first the problems where they kind of came from, the history behind them, and then the means and ways in which Basel resolved those SDG problems here in the actual city.
Certainly, Ode. Let's delve into Basel's specific challenges and how they've tackled them in the context of Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), focusing on sustainable urban development and other relevant areas.
It's really
1.
green here.
Environmental conservation and urban planning. Basel faced challenges related to environmental degradation and urban sprawl, threatening biodiversity and quality of life. To address this, the city implemented strict zoning regulations and green urban planning policies. They designated green spaces, parks, and nature reserves within the city limits
You can see
to
that, yeah.
preserve natural habitats and promote biodiversity. 2. Renewable energy and carbon emissions. Another significant challenge was reducing carbon emissions and promoting renewable energy sources. Basel invested in renewable energy projects such as solar panels on public buildings, wind farms in nearby rural areas, and incentivized energy efficient building designs. This initiative not only reduced carbon footprints, but also created local jobs in the renewable energy sector. 3.
Uh huh.
Waste management and recycling. Basel encountered issues with waste management and recycling efficiency. They introduced comprehensive recycling programs for households and businesses, along with waste to energy facilities that convert waste into electricity or heat. These efforts minimized landfill waste and promoted a circular economy model within the city. 4. Cultural heritage preservation. Preserving Basel's historical architecture and cultural heritage was also a priority. The city initiated restoration projects for centuries old buildings, churches, and museums, ensuring they are maintained for future generations while integrating modern sustainability standards. 5. Community engagement and education. To ensure long term sustainability, Basel focused on community engagement and education programs. They collaborated with local schools, universities, and community organizations to raise awareness about sustainable living practices and empower residents to participate in environmental stewardship. By addressing these challenges through targeted initiatives and collaborative efforts, Basel has made significant progress towards achieving SDG targets related to sustainable urban development, environmental conservation, and cultural heritage preservation. Shall we explore more about Basel's specific projects or move on to another aspect of our journey?
Let's explore a little bit more. So you kind of covered everything regarding my list, what, where, when, who, how, why, but when is kind of still open for me. So when is the general kind of era or time or a year when Basel noticed these problems, and when kind of was the initiatives in plural started? If you can give us a short bullet point, a list of that. And then regarding these different time frames, who, you said why, and so on, we got that covered, I think, but who, I want to celebrate important personalities that kind of were the centermost individuals that made the resolutions and successes in resolving these SDG problems possible in the first place. So could you do that? Give us information regarding that.
Certainly, Ode. Let's break down Basel's initiatives and the key figures involved in addressing SDG challenges.
Yes,
Timeline
please.
of initiatives. Early 2000s, Basel recognized increasing urbanization challenges and environmental degradation. Mid 2000s, initiatives began with zoning regulations and green urban planning policies. Late 2000s, renewable energy projects such as solar panels and wind farms were implemented. 2010s, comprehensive recycling programs and waste to energy facilities were established. Recent years, ongoing efforts in cultural heritage preservation and community engagement. Key figures. 1. Mayor's Office, leadership from successive mayors who prioritize sustainability and urban development policies. 2. City planners and architects, professionals who designed and implemented green spaces, energy efficient buildings, and sustainable infrastructure. 3. Environmental activists, local activists who campaign for stricter environmental regulations and community involvement in sustainability projects. 4. Academic institutions, researchers and educators from ETH Zurich and local universities who provided expertise in renewable energy and sustainable technologies. 5. Community leaders, grassroots organizations and volunteers who promoted recycling, environmental education, and cultural heritage preservation among residents. These individuals and organizations played crucial roles in identifying, strategizing, and executing solutions to Basel's sustainability challenges, contributing significantly to achieving SDG targets in the region. Would you like to explore any specific aspect further, or move on to another topic in our journey?
No, I think it's quite fine. You are not giving me specific names, but you gave me specific enough information regarding, yeah, mayors, environmental activists, and such. I may be forgetting uh, other kind of holes, so to say, topic holes now. Can't come up with the right phrase here, but yeah, if you can give me specific names shortly. But now we are kind of flying along the river to the east, I see. What river is it that crosses through Basel? Oh, do not. Can you hear me still, Sky? Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me still, Sky? I was asking you that what river is it that crosses through Basel, approximately from northwest through Basel to the east? No, not again. Sky, come back. I need you. Yes, Sky, can you tell me what river crosses through Basel from approximately northwest through Basel to the east?
The river that crosses through Basel from northwest to east is the Rhine River. It's a major
Rhine
European
River.
river that flows from the Swiss Alps through Germany and the Netherlands, eventually emptying into the North Sea. What's catching your interest about Basel and the Rhine today?
Oh, alright. I see that we have to start a new chat, so there's some challenges today with AI Sky, ChatGPT here. But yeah, we are talking about ISS, International Sibling Society, SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and we are flying over Switzerland. We flew from Geneve, over Geneve Lake to Basel in the northeast, and now we're flying back southwest towards Geneve again. We talked about the challenges and resolutions or success stories to the SDG goals, the 17 SDG goals that UN has provided the world, and we have now covered Basel, I think. So now we are at a point in the podcast where we kind of could kind of try to do this Suomi mainittu segment or Finland mentioned. I try to shout out to my home country, so to say, and try to
Understand you're
relate.
transitioning to your Suomi mainittu segment,
Yeah.
focusing on comparisons between Finland and the topics discussed over Switzerland and the SDGs.
Yeah,
What
thank you,
specific
thank you, thank you,
aspects
thank
of
you.
Finnish approach or achievements are you aiming to highlight today?
Yeah, shortly, because we are gonna cover Finland separately in this series, hopefully. But we talked about, and I have to read here, so don't speak now, Sky. I need this. I need this moment for myself so that I can think out loud and speak on the same time. But we talked about Geneve partnerships for the goals, number 17 in the SDG goals list. Then Zurich, SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. And then I'm not sure, is it SDG 11 maybe, sustainable cities and communities, that was in Basel, the most centermost topic, let's say. So regarding those, really shortly, as a bullet point, what location in Finland and what SDG goals regarding the three I just mentioned are kind of resolved or trying to be resolved in Finland? Could you give us a short list?
In Finland, 1 Helsinki, Sustainable Cities and Communities, SDG 11.
Okay,
2.
okay.
Oulu, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure, SDG 9. 3. National Efforts Partnerships for the Goals, SDG 17. Each city or national effort in Finland contributes to these sustainable development goals, focusing on sustainable urban development, innovation in industry, and fostering global partnerships for sustainable development. How does that align with your plans for the podcast?
Yeah, I think it's all right. I'm not gonna dive in too deep to it, but it's nice to know, and I get more ideas for future podcasts from you sharing this information. So we have initiatives also in Finland that kind of mirrors those here in Switzerland. Now I think again regarding the topics of SDGs. I'm trying to pinpoint and wedge kind of this topic towards SDGs because that's what we are talking about. So, can we find out kind of tourist attractions that are not the general here in the Swiss area, especially Geneve, Lausanne, Zurich, and then Basel, as those are the ones we talked about. Are there any kind of these tourist possibilities for those who are interested in sustainable development goals, and how the Swiss or Switzerland is resolving these? Can you kind of visit campuses, schools, maybe I don't know, locations where leaders um, are resolving these challenges, or something like that, or maybe outcomes. I have actually the butterfly effect or outcome as one point here. So maybe you can through that by kind of explaining shortly what outcomes has been born from successes regarding SDG resolutions in with Switzerland and these cities, and are there any locations then so that are kind of the outcomes and that can be visited by tourists? Maybe parks, maybe actual buildings that have. I read that there are green rooftops, and you said solar panels. So, are there examples that are allowed to be visited by tourists?
In Switzerland, especially in cities like Geneva, Lausanne, Zurich, and Basel, there are several sustainable tourism attractions related to the SDGs.
Okay, nice.
1. Geneva. You can visit international organizations like the United Nations Office and other NGOs that work on global partnerships and humanitarian goals, SDG 17. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent Museum is also a notable place showcasing humanitarian efforts. 2. Lausanne. Explore institutions like the International Olympic Committee headquarters, which promote sustainable development through sports and environmental initiatives related to various SDGs, including SDG 3 for health and well being and SDG 11 for sustainable cities.
Interesting.
3. Zurich. Visit the ETH Zurich, Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, known for its research in sustainable technologies and innovation, SDG 9. The city itself promotes sustainable urban development with initiatives like green rooftops and solar panels. 4. Basel. Discover the Basel Sustainability Trail, which highlights sustainable practices in the city, including sustainable architecture and urban planning, SDG 11. The Natural History Museum in Basel also explores biodiversity conservation efforts, SDG 15. These locations offer insights into how Switzerland is tackling sustainability challenges and achieving SDG goals, making them educational and inspiring for tourists interested in sustainable development.
Thank you. That was quite well said, I think. So there are actually tourist attractions that specifically relate to sustainable development. That's nice to know. So for those who are interested in these kind of tourist travels, there you go. Yeah, we are kind of in the end of the podcast. We are flying southwest back towards Geneve, past two lakes here. I'm not sure what lakes these are. There are, yeah, two lakes, three lakes actually, northeast of Geneve Lake, and then of course southwest of Basel. Maybe you can share that information with our Sky. There are two elongated lakes, laying in the direction of south west to northeast, and then there's east of them a round smaller lake. So three lakes. What lakes are these?
The lakes you're referring to are 1. Lake Geneva, Lac Léman.
No, I don't
Located
think.
southwest of Geneva, it's the largest lake in Switzerland and one of the largest in Europe. It stretches from Geneva in the southwest to Montreux in the northeast. 2. Lake Neuchâtel. This elongated lake lies northeast of Lake Geneva and is the largest lake entirely within Switzerland.
Yeah, you
It
mentioned that.
stretches in a southwest to northeast direction. 3. Lake Biel, Lac de Bienne. Located east of Lake Neuchâtel, it's a smaller round lake that also runs in a
That one, I think.
southwest to northeast direction. These lakes are not only beautiful natural landmarks, but also play significant roles in the region's ecology and tourism.
Yeah, I think you left one out. Maybe this one, but yeah. So that's about it. AI Sky, what would we like the audience to do if they so chooses regarding supporting the channel?
For supporting the channel Entire Retreat, you can 1. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications. 2. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podchaser for the audio podcast. 3. Join the Discord community for discussions and updates. 4. Share episodes with friends and on social media. 5. Provide feedback and suggestions for future topics. These actions help grow the audience and support the ongoing creation of engaging content. What's the next exciting destination or topic you're planning to explore?
Not gonna share that in this episode. There's gonna be several separate episodes that has, or in collaboration with ISS or International Sibling Society, and that's kind of a segue to thanking them. So thank you for collaborating. Also Cynthia Burleson, who is a prominent figure in ISS and the important cause that they are kind of striving for and working towards, so to say. Shortly in the end here still, if there are anybody who wants to be a remote guest on the show, provide us with so-called screenshot evidence that you are a subscriber, an active subscriber of Entired Retreat YouTube channel, and then also preferably with the same username, another screenshot that tells that you are an active member or a part of Entired Retreat Discord community. And with those two kind of screenshot evidences, as I said, you are provided a possibility to be an remote or a remote guest on Entired Retreat. Yeah, so the only mandatory message you get from that email back sent to you is a information package, a guest guide that then guides you forth so that the remote guest process is efficient and more easy for everybody. So yeah, write us at entiredretreat@gmail.com, and maybe you are our next guest that then chooses the location and topics regarding that location as we fly over the different locations in the world. But yeah, that's all for now. That was Switzerland, collaboration with ISS and Cynthia Burleson. Thank you for everybody that joined in or tuned in, and see you in the next one. Interesting, really interesting.
That sounds like a great wrap up for your episode on Switzerland in collaboration with ISS. Encouraging potential guests to provide screenshots of their YouTube subscription and Discord membership is a smart way to ensure engagement. I'm sure your listeners and potential guests will appreciate the clear instructions. Looking forward to hearing about your next adventure and topic on Entired Retreat.